Hello everyone, welcome to session 10. So in the previous session, I discussed a problem on dissolution of firm wherein all partners except one become insolvent. In this session, I'm going to discuss when all partners become insolvent. In case all the partners of the firm become insolvent, then how to close the books of the firm. So let me read a problem for you. A, B and C were partners in the firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. The following was their balance sheet as on 31/12/2020 when they decided to dissolve the firm. So on the liability side, we have capital accounts of A, B and bills payable and creditors. On the asset side, we are finding cash, debtors, stock, machinery, building and Mr. C's capital account. Further, stock realized 50% of the book value. Debtors realized 20% less than the book value. Machinery realized 18,000. Building realized 37,000. And point number 5 says that unfortunately all partners became insolvent. However, the following amounts were recovered from the surplus of their private estate. So from A's private estate, they recovered 6,000. From B's private estate, they recovered 1,000. And from C's private estate, nothing is recovered. So prepare necessary accounts to close the books of the firm. So let's start our discussion. Initially begin with realization account. So as you're already familiar with the realization account, so first thing what we are supposed to do is we need to transfer all the assets on the debit side of realization account at their book value, and on the credit side we need to transfer all the liabilities at their book value. Debtors, stock, machinery and building. So we have transferred all those assets on the debit side at their book value and liabilities at their book value on the credit side. After this, at what price the assets have been sold in the market, they're telling. So look at what has been told. So they said that stock realized 50% of the book value. If you look at stock, the stock value, book value is 30,000. So they told at 50% of the book value. What is 50% of 30,000? It is 15,000. After that, second one, debtors realized 20% less than the book value. Look at, so debtors value is 25,000. What is 20% of 25,000? It is 5,000. So hence debtor we have taken 20,000, and machinery they said it very clearly 18,000, and for building also they have mentioned. So building realized 37,000. So total cash received on sale of asset is 90,000. After this, till now what we did is we had sufficient cash to make payment of outside liabilities. But in this problem, when all partners became insolvent, we need to look at the cash available and then we need to make payment to the outside creditors. Now, let us look at look at before payment to creditors and bills payable. First you need to know what is cash available. So hence, after knowing the cash available, then the available cash need to be divided among the creditors to their proportionate outstanding liability. So now look at the total outside liabilities we have is 1,20,000. That is put together the creditors and bills payable. If you take the total at their book value, it is 1,20,000. But what is the cash available with us? So we have 3,000, 90,000, 6,000 and 1,000. So from where we got is 3,000, 90,000, 6,000 and 1,000. So I'll show you. So first the cash available is 3,000, right? After that we recovered something from A and B, that is 6,000 and 1,000. And how we got this 90,000? So we got this 90,000 on sale of asset. So now that's how, so 3,000 cash available, 90,000 on assets realized, 6,000 recovered from one partner and 1,000 from another partner. So what is cash available with the firm is only 1 lakh. So outside liabilities are rupees 1,20,000, but the cash available is only 1 lakh. As the cash is insufficient to make full payment of liabilities, the available cash should be apportioned among the liabilities proportionately. So iruvanta cash na, so outsider liability ge proportionate agi hanchbeku. So how to calculate? That is, for creditors, what is cash available? Take the cash available into what is the amount outstanding, that is 90,000 out of 1,20,000. So you're gonna get 75,000. So creditors are eligible to receive up to 75,000, and bills payable out of 1 lakh into 30,000 is their outstanding liability divided by total liability. You're gonna get 25,000. If you take the total of 75 and 25, the total will come down to 1 lakh rupees. So now the same should be brought and written on the debit side of realization account. If you write it on the debit side, that is creditors, let me tell you. So creditors, on the credit side we have 90. Then how much you are paying? 75. How we got this 75? Please refer working note 1. The same manner, bills payable book value is 30,000, but we are paying them only 25,000. So how? Same. So refer working note 1. I have mentioned how we got this 75 and 25. Now if you take the total, so debit side is more, 2,30,000. Keep the same total on credit side, so 2,30,000. If you deduct on the credit side items, the difference what you are getting is 20,000. So this is what is loss on realization to be transferred to partners capital account. So A share, B share, C share. After doing this, let's prepare all partners capital account. So here the same manner what we followed in the previous session. As usual, begin with their capital balances. As I told you, so A and B have credit balance, hence on the credit side is the entry made, but wherein Mr. C has a debit balance, hence to balance brought down 17,000. After this, transfer the realization loss. So their share 10,000, 6,000, 4,000. Just now we calculated 10,000, 6,000, 4,000. The same amount return. After this, by cash, the cash brought in by partners. So they said in the adjustment that we are able to recover something from A and B. So that is 6,000 and 1,000 is been recovered from A and B. After passing these entries, now compare the total, which side is more. Now, if you look at A's capital account, so on the credit side we have 26,000, on the debit side we have 10,000. On the debit side we have 10,000. So credit side is more. Yes, still he is regarded as solvent. Now look at B. So B's total on the credit side it is 11,000, 10 plus 1. On the debit side it is 6,000. Yes, still B is also solvent. Now look at C. C's capital is showing 21,000 on debit side but 0 on credit side. So hence initial stage close C's capital account. So take the total on the debit side, keep the same total on credit side. Remember the situation of Garner versus Murray. As of at the outset, when you compare the totals of debit and credit, only C looks like insolvent. So situation of Garner versus Murray are applicable wherein at least two partners are in a solvency position. In this situation, so A and B are in solvency position. Hence, this 21,000 should be borne by A and B in their capital ratio. Then how to calculate capital ratio? We already know, right? So if you take the total balances, so in the problem nothing is given like reserve fund, provision, reserve fund or general reserves or profit and loss account. Hence, the working note will be very easy. So capital balances, what are the capital balances? 20,000 and 10,000. So finished. If you convert this into ratio, you are going to get 2 by 3. Sorry, 2 is to 1. Now, so by A's capital account, what is the share of deficiency should be borne by A, that is 21,000 into 2 by 3, and B's capital account, that is 21,000 into 1 by 3. So if you calculate, you're gonna get 14,000 and 7,000. So this is how the capital account of C will get closed. After this, now you compare the totals of A and B. So now let us see. So look at it. What is, so now friends, let me tell you, after passing this, immediately transfer these entries on the debit side. As these entries are on the credit side of C's account, transfer them on debit side of A's and B's capital account. So I have transferred. After transferring this, now you need to look at the total. If you look at the total of A, that is 10,000 and 14,000, it is 24,000. But A's capital account on the credit side is 26,000. Still he is solvent. Then let us see B's capital account. So 6,000 plus 7,000, 13,000. But on the credit side, we have only 11,000. So now B's account is showing debit balance. So take the total of 13,000, keep the same total on credit side 13,000, and difference, as we have already learnt in the previous problem, we have only one person as solvent as of now. So we need to transfer this 2,000 to Mr. A's capital. Mr. A's capital. So hence I have written by A's capital account. As this entry is on the credit side of B, transfer the entry on debit side of A. So now if you transfer this capital deficiency of B borne by A, so entry would be A's capital account debit to B's capital account 2,000. Now B's and C's capital accounts have been closed. Now look at A's capital account. Look at A's capital. So 24 plus 2, 26,000. On the credit side we have 26,000. So now A need not bring in, or firm need not pay anything to A, because on both the side we are getting 26,000 and 26,000. So after closing the partner's capital account, we need to prepare a small account, that is cash account. As usual, begin with two balance brought down. We have a cash balance of 3,000 in the balance sheet. After that, on sale of asset, we got realized 90,000. The adjustment, they said that A and B, we are recovering something from their private estate. So to A's capital account 6,000, to B's capital account 1,000. And not to forget, one entry on the credit side, That is by realization account. This is for the liabilities paid off. So after doing this, your cash account is going to get a tally. That is 1 lakh and 1 lakh both the same. So with this, we'll conclude for the day. In the next session, we'll be dealing with piecemeal distribution sum. In case if you have any doubt regarding this dissolution due to insolvency of one partner, all partner except one, or all partner insolvency, I have quoted my email ID in the description of this video. You can post your query, so I'll respond. Thank you.